And we're live. Hey, I'm so excited to be here today. And I got to tell you, um, first of all, this is like a dream come true because this gentleman I'm about to introduce you to, and some of you already know who he is, uh, and I met many years ago. I'm thinking it was in the 90s. And Larry can maybe help me with this, but when we met, I just remember being so impressed. There were companies that were impressive, there were leaders that were impressive, and I was speaking for so many companies. And I remember strolling into this office in Fort Collins, Colorado, and going, "Oh my gosh, I have met like one of the most incredible leaders." And I say this sincerely. I said it then, Larry. I thought it then. I think it today. One of the most incredible leaders in the real estate space. And what I love is that you've gone on in thought leadership to continue, with through your writing and your teaching. And so, first of all, welcome, Larry Kendall. I'm so excited to have you here, buddy.
Don, I'm excited to be with you, and it's great to see you again. We go way back, as you said, and so thank you for inviting me to be a part of your program.
Well, we're excited to have you with at the Breakthrough Summit for sure. I mean, that was for me, it was a real honor. And when you said, yeah, you name it, I'll be there, and I was like, wow, it felt so great to know that you would be willing to play with us. I respect you. I like what you do. I like what you stand for. I like what you've done with the whole Ninja program and the Ninja Selling book, and everything that you guys have built. So I feel, in fact, we talked at one point about how aligned I think we are, and yet we've kind of grown up on our own paths. I knew of you, you knew of what I was doing, but it wasn't like we were following each other. And it's just really great to hear. And I have so many of my friends who are like, Larry Kendall, oh my gosh, Larry Kendall. So you're kind of, I know some people that have some crushes on you, and I don't think it's like, like man crushes and woman crushes. I think there's, so excited to have you be part of it. I know you're going to be talking about the building a smart business. So we'll get into that, but let's talk a little bit about where you came from. I mean, yes, we met in Colorado, but tell us a little bit, because the group, your company is a standout. So let's start there and tell me where you came from.
Sure. Well, we started a real estate company. It's called the Group Real Estate in Colorado. And in the early 90s, we received some national recognition as being the most productive real estate company in America in terms of transactions and dollar volume per associate. And that led to people coming to our company and asking, what are you doing? How are you getting this level of productivity?
I was asking.
I think maybe that's how we first met. And I said, well, I can show you. And that led me to being basically in the workshop business, and led to what's now called Ninja Selling. And that's the documented system that we use to get that level of productivity. I'm often asked, how did you come up with the name Ninja Selling? And it was frankly just named after one of our associates in our office that had very high income per hour and had a life. And his nickname was the Ninja. And I said, well, I think that's the goal that we have, is how can you increase your income per hour and have a life and be very successful in real estate, but also, have a family and have time and have hobbies to be able to do stuff. And so that's the whole approach really of the Ninja Selling system, is to and call that building a smart business, building a smart life.
Yeah,
building both. That's basically our mission, is to help people do that.
Well, ironically, how many people have you and I spoken for, seen? I think I'm at 1.6 million realtors, as close as we can tell.
Wow.
In my audiences through the years. But you've had an enormous impact. And I just think of how many people get into real estate to have more money and more time, and within weeks, maybe months, they have neither. And their life is a train wreck, and things aren't good. And financially, right, if they do get on track financially, and the fallout ratio is pretty high, but if they do get on track financially, you're right. At what cost?
It could be. It's an industry that can be addictive, and you can wake up one day and you realize I've been working every day for as long as I can remember. And unfortunately, I know people, and maybe they're making the money, maybe they're not. It's we're in an industry you can work every day and not make any money. But our goal is to help you build a smart business and a smart life, and I think we have a system that's proven to be able to do that. This is our 28th year of teaching Ninja. So it's not like this, We just came up with this. You know, along the way, it was interesting, Don. You had a big influence on me when we met back in the 90s. Another person that had a big influence was Howard Brinton. And I don't know if you remember
Of
Howard
course, I loved
and
Howard.
Star Power, and I was one of his stars and had the opportunity really to associate with. I taught in Star Power University and really meet some of the very highest producing people in our industry, as you did. And what I began to do is I began to document what were they doing that was working, and where were they getting the biggest return on their investment of time. And let's document that. Let's teach that. Let's help people use that. And so, here we are.
Well, I think it's really cool. And when you talk about building a smart business, I mean, I laughed as you were saying one of the things you were sharing today, and I was thinking, my age-old phrase is there's very little difference between self-employed and unemployed if you don't have the right action plan, right? They look really similar because you got a lot of time on your hands.
Yeah.
And if you're not used to having control of your time, that's where it gets a little wacky. And I love, the process of ninja selling because it's relationship, but it also gives people a track. And I mean, a very good track, like a solid track for doing all that. And so let's talk a little bit about the event itself, because we're going to get you for, I won't tell them when you're speaking. I'm not going to tell them when they're going to find you. They got to come to the whole thing, but you are going to have a prominent position, and you are, one of the key people in my mind. Of course, we got so many great speakers. You met a few of them the other day. We've got some panelists.
It's a great lineup.
Got some great lineup, right? And I want people to kind of understand a little bit about this smart business, and maybe we can give them a couple little teaser bites and bits, and then we'll just see them on the 24th and 25th of May.
You bet. Well, it's interesting, Don. I had the opportunity to meet a woman that was very successful. She had a small team. They did 2.1 million in gross commission income the previous year, but she netted 150,000.
Ouch.
And she was in tears, and she was with me, and she says, "What can I do? Can you help me?" And I said, "Yeah, we can help you for sure." But she had built a big business, but it wasn't a very smart business, if you really think about it. And she was working all the time. So our definition of a smart business is, high income per hour, high net income per hour, and sustainability. It's where you can actually have a career. You may have seen some of the research on top producers. Definition in that research study of a top producer was somebody earning 250,000 in gross commission income or more. And what they found after 10 years was 75% of them were either out of the business totally, or they were making less, and they burned out. And so they hadn't built a sustainable business, or what we like to call a smart business. So we want to help you build a career, have a life, and that's a smart business.
Well, I absolutely agree with you. No doubt in my mind. We chose a little bit, more of the marketing path, and stayed a little bit away from some of the scripts that many people taught. And of course, I loved Howard. By the way, I was at his funeral. I don't remember if I saw you, but that was a man that impacted the industry like you did in a big, big way.
Well,
so
he was an icon, and one of my best friends. He was from Colorado, so
I know he's right down the street from you.
Yeah, he and I hung out a lot together, and I miss him. I really do.
Well, I know that that they're getting that gang back together many times, but it's great that you have taken that, because I do remember you teaching in part of that university, and again, your wisdom. And what I love about, I listen to you talk, and I'm listening to, you've got a formula, and then you've got another formula, and you've got another formula. It's very easy to follow. It's very simple, and all of us can do it. Anybody can do it.
Yes.
And I think the challenge is, a lot of these trainers have built their life around, it's all about the action. I mean, there's a whole company that's got a program where it's like, you got to make the calls. You just got to make the calls. And it's like, it's hard to sustain that. It's hard. I mean, I've done it to make the point and then gone, I don't want to do this. I wouldn't live this way. I would never do that. So I love what you've done with ninja selling. Hey, listen, a little accolade on that. I read somewhere, and I thought it was NAR, but maybe it's Inman somewhere, that your book is right up there as like the top book. So you help me out. Tell me what the recognition is, because it seemed like it's the top selling book or the top real estate book, or what's the accolade?
Yeah. Well, if you go on Amazon and look in the real estate genre, it's usually ranked 1, 2, or 3
Right.
best-selling book. In the area of sales and consumer behavior, it's usually in the top 5. But probably the one that excited me the most was Inman asked their readers to vote on the best sales books for real estate, and Ninja Selling was selected number 1 out of that.
Woohoo!
And so that meant that was, one of our goals when we wrote the book was, could we write a book that would become kind of a maybe a Bible is too strong of a word, but kind of a standard that the industry could use and help people, launch a career, or if they had a career, maybe get back on a path where they also had a life.
Yeah.
And to see the acceptance of the book has meant a lot to us, really.
Well, I'm certainly excited about the direction, because, we've got a panel that's going to be done on productivity, and we've got a few teams that are, we've got, I think she was on with us when we had the speakers together, but she's got about a $200 million team up in Canada, and,
Amazing.
and she does have a life, right? I mean, she does have a
Yes.
life, and there's so many of them. I don't like highlighting people that haven't built it in a way that I'd want people to duplicate. Like,
Right.
I never
Yeah.
wanted to highlight somebody on stage and go, and they work 24 hours a day and they have no life. And if you would just do that, you could be like, it's never been my style. It's never been what I believed.
Right.
And Hobbs Herder was never about that. And Expert Partners is not about that at all. So,
Yeah.
what you're doing and how you're impacting people, to me, is like the way. And I'm excited to have you at the program with us. And I'm not telling people when you're speaking, but I am telling you that it's, of course, on the 24th and 25th of this month, May. And we're going to go from 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock East Coast, or what is that, 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock on the West Coast. And we're super excited to have just a great lineup. Bob Berg's going to be there. I think you probably know Bob, don't you? Did you
I
ever
love
meet
Bob. He and I are good friends. In fact, he wrote the foreword to the Ninja Selling book.
Oh my gosh, I forgot that.
Yeah. He and I are tight. We're close, and his philosophy and the Ninja philosophy are a perfect fit.
Yeah,
And,
really close.
And so to have Bob Berg is huge. You've just got a great lineup.
I'm not telling anybody when he's speaking either. You got to show up for both days. And we're going to have a great panel on marketing, great panel on productivity and profitability, again, to a smart business thought, and just some other great speakers. I got a guy that's coming on that you're going to love meeting. I don't know if you're going to be able to sit in on all of it, but my friend Davin Michaels, when I first moved to Puerto Rico, Larry, if it was said once, it was said 10 times, 11 times. Well, you got to know Davin Michaels, right? He's right there. You know Davin Michaels. I'm like, no, I don't know Davin Michael. And everybody kept saying, well, you know Davin Michaels. I'm like, I don't know Davin Michaels. I've never heard of the guy, right? So when I got moved in, I called this guy and said, I want to meet. I said, I have to meet you. I've been told we have to meet. And it turned out he was literally across the street and 2 doors down. and so we were neighbors. Right. And anyway, he's built some large businesses, also about being smart and leverage properly.
Yeah, he's a dynamo.
Yeah, he is a dynamo for sure. So we're looking forward to having all you guys and all you gals and everybody who's going to be attending as part of this. Larry, thank you, man. Thank you. I can't thank you enough for giving us this. First of all, this was really a treat for me, but being part of our event, because it means so much to kick this thing off for me with great people and demonstrate what my vision for real success in real estate is, not kind of the one that sometimes gets hyped. And right. This is my style. You are my style. And thanks for being my friend.
Well, thank you, Don. Thanks for our friendship, long-term friendship. And thanks for inviting me on your program. And the lineup that you've put together is going to make a difference in a lot of lives. And so thank you for that.
We think so. Absolutely. Well, listen, man, I will see you real soon. And anything we can do between now and then, let's do it. And of course, you go out and buy the book, read Ninja Selling, become familiar with Larry's work. In fact, we're talking about doing a book club with it, and Larry, maybe having you drop in on some of that. So again,
count me in.
Other stuff we're going to be doing, but this is a guy. So everybody have a great day. Larry, Take care, brother. Take care,
Great.
and we'll see you soon.
Great. Thanks, Don.